2, 1. Hey now! Welcome back to Space Ghost, Chapter 6. We're going to the Stronghold because Space Ghost finally realizes if they go to the planet and they watch this video of all the bad things that the princess did here, and like, oops, we let her back into this planet. That's on us. We got to go fix it. But we're not going to tell them what we did. We're going to try to fix it first to avoid people freaking out because, you know, they banished this person, and then Jan just by digging for something, I forgot what she was doing. Maybe she had her metal detector out or something, and she got scratched, and this is what happened. So we're moving the jet back to the mountains. Remember the last time we saw the evil queen? She was in the previous chapter here. Climbing the mountain, getting back to her stronghold. There she was. So we last left her in chapter 4. Now we're in chapter 6. We're going back to the stronghold, and they're going to approach their destination. We're going to try to intercept her, said Space Ghost. His eyes steeled in their familiar telescopic stare. Is that what they're calling it? That's the familiar telescopic stare of Space Ghost. We're gonna call it that, not to assume that it's just a blank stare, because there's, you know, when your first experience of Space Ghost is with Space Ghost Coast to Coast, you know what's going through Space Ghost's head. Nothing's going through Space Ghost's head. If what she told you is true, Jan, she's going to be somewhere in the gun-filled peak. So the Castle Grayskull, or whatever this is here, it's still out there. So the folks in the Utopia of Cyba-3 didn't go back and get rid of all this stuff. They just kind of left it there, or either that or they didn't know. But we know that a diabolical plan is forming, and there she is. She's doing the evil sorcery because she's now the evil sorceress. If she was just that in the beginning, I could pronounce the name. The small, ugly mountain creatures were still there. Well, that's unfair to the mountain creatures. You don't have to just call them small and ugly. Come on now. But anyway, so she's doing her dance, I guess, and stuff's gonna happen. This is a nice, well-lit cave. You know, I like the track lighting. You know, that brings out what you can do when you do a designing of your evil fortress cave. That should be on like an Extreme Homes episode. But okay, but they're gonna fool the Cybans, the Cybans, in the small. So here are all the small, ugly mountain people. They don't look too happy. Oh, they're grotesque mountain creatures. So I mean, we're really going negative on the mountain creatures. It's not like it's their fault, you know, that they were taken advantage of by, you know, evil queen here. But you know, whatever. In the assembly room cave, they were still working on the Spidrix. Okay, I'm guessing that's just evil machine thing, but they're working on it. Now what's the goal of just being evil here? You know, is it of ruling the planet to be a powerful ruler and causing horribleness? Is that always the end goal of the evil? I know it's a kid's book, whatever. So there's the Spidrix. It's got it. Hey, I guess it looks like a spider. You know, straight out of that Wild West movie. Boy, they're really down on the mountain too. The gross, dull little mountain creatures. Oh, these are the mountain creatures. Yeah, they're not done giving, you know, negative names to the mountain creatures. We're gonna hit you over the head that these people are gross. They're grotesque. It's really not good for anybody's self-esteem. Anyway, so they're creating the robot bats or spitters or whatever. And the eye glowing with satisfaction, she rode the lift up to the cabin, and she's gonna get inside the spitter machine. Now this is where I circled it as I was reading, because this is when things kind of turn dark, and it's just a subtle thing. Now I know we had a whole chapter full of fire and destruction, and now just to say that wasn't real is to the point. But here's where I paused, because this has stuck with me with the idea of someone that's a sheer psychopathic personality, where a planet on fire, that's her goal. She just wants She just wants to put stuff on fire. I mean, that's such a disturbing goal for any kid to read if you're reading like a little big book here. And Queen Centauri here pictured it the way that another woman, sidestep that is another, would see a lovely flower. You know, so we're equating a planet on fire. When I see a planet on fire, I feel the same way as other person would feel if they were looking at a beautiful flower. That kind of would stick. That sticks with me now. That in comparison would even be mean. I think I have a tendency to overthink. I'm told that I'm not quite typical in that way, but I mean that's pretty bleak. I mean this is why I did these videos on the Space Ghost story, because I'm not over this line. Because even the thought that when you look at destruction, you feel at peace, or it's like you're enjoying a lovely flower. That's disturbing on a whole lot of different ways, and that's what we're dealing with here. So there's a point where this villain becomes less cartoonish, and a line like this is like, and I'm sure it was just a throwaway line for the writer here, because at the end of the day, he's writing a stupid kid's book that he didn't think anybody's going to read 60 years later. But, you know, 54. But, you know, here we are. Yeah, I don't know where else to go with that. But the destruction equals beauty in the flower. That's I'm just going to say that's kind of beyond human scale. There's something psychologically troublesome to be exposed to someone even thinking like that, even if it's a cartoon story. But I'm gonna leave it at that. So, and then it just gets like, maybe it's me. I get that this is just a kid's story, but if you're a kid and you're exposed to even a fiction that there's a personality as disturbing as this, I don't know. Maybe I'm just lost in my own head. But, you know, okay, so, the girl found enough courage to tell the truth, and they've come to die. You know, this line here, I'm going to keep going. I'm just doing this for me. But this also reminds me of the first Dirty Harry movie, where you have Andy Robinson. I've done videos on Andy Robinson. You know, Garrick from Deep Space Nine. He plays this psychopathic serial killer. And after a whole scene where there's a chase, and you know, Clint Eastwood's going, now Dirty Harry is what it is. So we can talk about the ins and outs of Dirty Harry. But there's a line like, you know, I've changed my mind. I'm going to let her die. And there's so much glee in Andy Robinson's portrayal of that serial killer character that it ended up typecasting him for a long time in his career. But I'm reading too much into this here. But I can see the same glee that, you know, Psycho Killer from Dirty Harry would have here. Yeah, that's how my brain works. I'm just making a comparison. So boom, boom, boom. We're trying to shoot at the Phantom Cruiser. It's tough to go anywhere up here after all those the thought that one line left me with, because, you know, so Blip is trying to, well, I don't know what he's looking for. He's making a hiding place. Okay, you got the right idea, Blip. You stay and guard the ship. So Blip's a coward. Blip's a Falstaff. All right. Okay. I'm not a big fan. Okay. So a little attack, and I don't know what we've done here, but we're at the end of this chapter. And the next chapter, the twins get captured, so look forward to that next time.